Do we just need to like give you your space? Are you interested in some sort of a, like, trying to work stuff out, maybe from the past how many years?
As far as the relationships with the other adults, I think Janelle and I are super close, but I'm not that close with the rest of you. And for right now, I kind of need it that way.
Hello everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful day. It is Friday, November 11th, 2022, and it is very gray out, and I thought this background of a rainy mountain view would be perfect as we talk about Christine breaking up with Robyn and Meri. So, Robyn and Meri have always had a very strained relationship with Christine. And when Christine said that she could not do marriage with Cody anymore, Meri cried, "Look at the mountains, look at the mountains." So today we are going to look at the mountains while we talk about this new clip that just came out by TLC. And it is all about Robyn asking if she can still have a relationship with Christine. Robyn Brown, the most interesting sister wife of them all. So before we get into this part of the video where we talk about this new clip, which was released by the Today Show, could you please do me a very big favor? I actually just hit 280,000 subscribers today, so thank you all so much for subscribing. It's wonderful to see this community growing. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel and you're part of that, I don't know, 50% that are watching daily and haven't subscribed, take the plunge, hit the subscribe button. It's free, and you will also help me reach my goal of 300,000 subscribers by 2023. Make sure to leave a comment if you have something to say, and give this video a thumbs up. So I have been spending quite a bit of time going back into the archives of Sister Wives and digging through their book. And one thing someone said to me in a comment yesterday was that they really appreciated the way this channel tries to tie things back from history so that when we hear something today, we can go back in time and see what was said before. And so I have been trying to be very consistent in reminding viewers, okay, this is what was said, but this is how he acted a few years ago, so we can sort of see the methods that Cody's using to hurt Christine. Yesterday, we talked about Cody's tirade, and the tirade is actually prompted because of what transpires before, which is this part where Christine basically cuts Robyn out of her life. So we'll start with this and then we'll move on, but and I'll be interweaving some really strange things that have happened within their lives that kind of confirm why Christine would feel the way that she does.
Okay, I guess I have a question. Like, are you in a place where you just want to go do your thing? Those of the kids that have a relationship with you, you'll spend time with them or whatever. And then the rest of us that maybe you don't have a great relationship with, do we just need to like give you your space? Are you interested in some sort of a, like, trying to work stuff out, maybe from the past how many years?
You know, on the surface, this question feels very innocent enough, I should say. But the problem here is that I feel like there's some sort of setup, that this question is being asked with an agenda. I feel like she knows probably the answer that she is going to get. And I'm sure that by asking this question, she's going to be able to play the victim because Christine will say no, and then Cody will get mad. And, you know, I was doing some research, and a lot of people think that Robyn is a narcissist, but I am not a psychologist, but I will say this. She doesn't strike me as a narcissist, but rather more like codependent. Again, I'm not a psychologist at all, but codependent people when they're with narcissists, a lot of the time they will do whatever the narcissist wants to make them happy. And she has been so dependent on Cody. She has bent over backwards to make sure that Cody is a part of her life and her kid's life, no matter what. To the extent that several years ago, when Cody made the decision to adopt the kids, which she did because Cody felt like he needed to have he wanted the kids to have the same last name. She manufactured a photo of Cody that was with Christine and the kids, and transposed that photo into a photo with her kids where she cropped out David's face. There's been a lot of times where Robyn has tried to, in many ways, sort of erase Christine. So to me, if Robyn gets the answer that I'm expecting her to receive from Christine, she shouldn't be surprised, but I'm sure she will be surprised. So she can play the victim to, again, start the cycle, to get Cody to pay attention to her, rinse, rather, repeat.
I think for right now, I need space.
Okay.
For right now.
I have definitely been mourning the loss of the family culture, and there's this part of me that has wondered, if Cody's not in the picture for her, will it be easier for her to have a relationship with me and my kids?
As expected, Christine tells Robyn that she does not, at this point, see a relationship simply because she needs space. Christine isn't just leaving Cody, she's like leaving the whole world of polygamy, plural marriage, and it's going to be a while for her where she has to deconstruct her faith. She has to be able to establish like healthy relationships in her life. She needs to separate herself from every toxic relationship in her family. And the problem is that when you leave a group, people that are still in will try to suck you back in. And if people are so dedicated to Cody, their job is going to be to try to manipulate Christine into either coming back, obeying, and it's not at all outside of the question or norm that a man, if a wife leaves, tries to retrieve her, So it's not safe for Christine to have a relationship with Robyn because she's too dependent on Cody and too enmeshed with Cody. And Robyn, for some reason, thinks that she should be able to have a relationship with Christine. I'm assuming because the kids are siblings, but also maybe to potentially try to influence Christine to come back. Why she would think that they would have a relationship because Cody is out of the picture, to me, also just seems like a little bit like, did she believe that all their problems were because of Cody? Or was that her plan all along? Was that their plan all along to get Christine out of the picture? It seems so convoluted.
But I do see us getting together for family reunions, and I do see us having fun together. And
Is that the extent of what you want? Just
For
a
now,
family
yeah.
reunion?
for now, yeah.
Basically, what Christine is saying here is that she is going to try to be as civil as possible and still participate in family events. Like recently, they had a wedding for Logan. If there are baby showers, if there are, family reunions, she said she would have no problem seeing them there and, getting together and having fun in that kind of capacity. But outside of that, she doesn't have an interest in having a relationship. She, I think, is sort of viewing this as sort of like, I have to be interacting with you and I'm not going to be able to avoid it. So in these places, I will be nice to you, but outside of that, we will not have a relationship. And I don't really know why Robyn would expect anything more than that, because they've never had anything more than that, at least not in the last several years. I don't think any of these wives, besides Janelle and Christine, have any sort of connection. Maybe Robyn and Meri do, but still, I think theirs is very superficial. I think that Janelle and Christine's is a relationship that has been based on the fact of their relationship with their kids and how Janelle worked and Christine took care of the kids and their whole lives have meshed that way. And so because of that, they're close. The rest of the relationships have sort of faltered.
As far as the relationships with the other adults, I think Janelle and I are super close, but I'm not that close with the rest of you. And for right now, I kind of need it that way.
It's kind of that last little bit of hope sort of dying.
So she says she and Janelle are super close and that will not change. And she expects that they will still stay in touch and everything will be fine. But she says, I'm not close to the rest of you. And so for that, I need to move on, which is a very direct and assertive way to say it without being rude or without being, dismissive. It's just she's saying how she feels. She's not being cruel or anything. And, I think the relationship between all of them is very complicated. And Meri is going to chime in here in a minute. And there's so much backstory to her relationship with Meri and just Meri's relationship with the kids and how Meri treated people in the family before the filming started. And, I don't think anyone should be forced to stay connected to people that they don't feel safe around or they feel are toxic for them. And it's a hard pill to swallow. And, Miss Robyn is like a part of me that my hope is dying, but why she even had hope to begin with makes no sense to me. It's like she set herself up for disappointment because she refuses to look at the, I don't know, practical matters here. Sometimes I actually really do get concerned about Robyn's mental health. I think she and Cody have really gotten so much worse in the last several years. And I don't know if it's declining mental health or if it's of them both or what. But Robyn seems to live in a different world.
My immediate thought was, well, I may as well stand up and leave because there's no point of me being here in this conversation. She doesn't want to work on anything. And I have seen her non-acceptance of Robyn, and I have seen her disdain for me through the years. As much as it hurts me, I'm glad to know where she actually stands.
Meri and Cody remind me a lot of each other. They're both like the kind of people that have, I think, hot tempers and are unable to take accountability or responsibility for anything. Meri, throughout this entire process, she has completely skated and completely ignored everything she did. She's the one that had a relationship with some person online and then has downplayed it by saying she was catfished. Even if she was catfished, if that person was real, she was going to leave, and she won't even take responsibility for that. She always is like the victim. She acts like she doesn't understand the position that Christine is in, even though she's in the same position. She just has this air of just complete and utter arrogance and superiority. And I'm sure that's to cover up massively low self-esteem. But her acting like she doesn't, Christine has always, not accepted Robyn. That's not true. When they wanted to do the adoption, it was Christine that literally hugged them first about the divorce. Christine always was the only one to encourage Meri about the B&B. Christine helped with parties. Christine went out of her way when they did the adoption to do that whole thing on the, in the cement where they did their handprints. Christine tried. There's only so much she could do. What did Robyn do? What did Meri do? That's actually the question is, all of these three, they all act like they are the victims of everything and they take no responsibility. But I think there's a really clear reason why Christine doesn't like Meri, and it has everything to do with the way that Meri's treated her kids. And, the fact of the matter is this is written in their book, Becoming Sister Wives, where this is what Christine said. I had a devastating argument with Meri. For a while, I'd been feeling that she was too tough on my kids. While I understand that all children need discipline, I often felt that she went too far when it came to my children. It seemed to me that she was taking her frustrations out on my kids in particular. As a result of this, many of them were wary of her and were afraid to cross her accidentally. That sounds like someone that has a hair trigger, like temper, someone that might use their hands, someone that might be verbally abusive. She continues, I let the situation go on too long and I let my emotions well up. Instead of talking to Meri calmly and explaining what I'd observed her doing and how she might fix her behavior, I exploded. I yelled and screamed and I told her to stop talking to my kids and to stop interfering in their lives. Since I'm afraid of confrontation, I always allow stuff to build up till it's too late. So instead of trying to work it out with Meri, I just shut her out. She wrote, after our fight, Meri and I stayed out of each other's way. We no longer sought out each other's company to watch movies or just hang out. When circumstances brought us together, we were never openly rude or hostile. We maintained a level of cordiality, but the warmth was gone. To this day, we're still working on becoming closer again. So Meri is that's not the only person that's mentioned Meri's temper and Meri's abuse. There was alluding to a physical altercation between Janelle and Meri. Janelle referenced it as the worst fight of her life, and she left the family for several years after that because of Meri's anger. And Janelle's daughter called Meri abusive on Twitter several years ago when Meri did this video about LuLaRoe, and she told people they weren't working hard enough, and if they weren't working hard enough, they weren't going to work for her. And Maddie said, try being scared of someone your whole effing life, and she plays like she's the one who's hurting. She was a monster, and now she's attacking one of the few safety nets you had. No, check again. She also said, you can't subtweet and not expect retaliation. Loyalty goes to those who are always kind, not Meri. And she said, there's nothing like dealing with an abusive human your whole life and finally having the freedom to not have anything to do with her. The kids have, been pretty clear that they think that Meri's abusive. And you have 3 separate people here saying that Meri has abuse issues. So her doing this and saying that, like, she can tell that Christine has disdain for her. I don't know, Meri, could it be that you were abusive with her kids? I'll tell you one thing. I have a son, and if anyone laid hands on my son, anyone touched him, anyone yelled at him, anyone crossed a line with him, we would not have a relationship, period. No forgiveness at all. You don't mess with someone's kids. And she messed with people's kids. So Meri will never take responsibility for that. Instead, she'll play the victim. She's learned how to do this by watching Cody, by watching Robyn. They're all perfect for each other because none of them take responsibility, which is, again, why I'm eager to see what happens with Janelle. Since Christine has already said we're going to be fine, that tells me Janelle's going to be vulnerable to retaliation because the slander and the shunning has already started by Cody because he's doing all of this to show to the people that still are loyal to him, this is why we can't trust Christine. This is why we can't be around Christine. This is why she's not safe for our family. They're going to shun her. They're going to disparage her. They're going to slander her. They're going to make her life hell. And because she said that me and Janelle are going to stay close, she's got a mark on her back, which is why I don't think Gwendolyn's lying when she said that Janelle already left. So tell me what your thoughts are about all of this in the comments below. Bye, guys.